Good morning. Happy Monday, April 13. Masters weekend just passed us by. Beautiful. Hope you guys are fans. Feel like everybody was tuned into that yesterday. I caught the tail end of it. Coming back from volleyball. Busy week. Guys, I'm so excited. I hope you feel my energy. Closed 2 great houses last week. Meeting with 2 of you today. We're listing your house. I can't tell you how great YouTube has been, but I think that the part I love the most is that so many of you are watching, and I feel like you're getting help. And that was the whole purpose of this. You know, my number one question that I get every day, Casey, how's the market? And so instead of saying it to each and every person, I just decided to bring it each and every week because I want this audience to know exactly how the market is and what's going on. Okay. So thank you. And big show today because we're going to get into the numbers. I took a peek and it feels exactly like what I thought it was. So stand by for a second. We're going to revisit a quick conversation from last week because I got an interesting question based on last week. And then I got some new info for you about what the county is up to with this shuttle service we see going around. I've been noticing, I live at the beach. Man, there's shuttles everywhere now. I'm going to tell you what just went into place, how that's going to help or hurt beach access. There's some pros and cons to that. And I'm going to lay them out for you, right? We're going to be transparent on this channel. So here we go. Let's dive into the numbers. Man, I'm excited. I hope you guys are feeling good. Spring is in the air. I'm trying to get outside and enjoy it, but man, I love working too. So we're just doing a little bit of everything. New listings, 50. I like that. Anybody that's been watching this channel for any amount of time knows that I like 40s and 50s. What I get nervous about historically is getting up into the 70s for any kind of run. 40s, 50s, we'll take it all day. But here's the key metric. How many deals did we write? 40. 40 pending contracts. I felt that. Week after Easter, Atlanta week, Lord knows I couldn't go out to eat last week. All y'all were here. Had somebody sending me pictures from Raw and Juicy down in Alice. It was like, I mean, it looked like Disney. That's Atlanta week, right? Now, man, it's nice out there. People are out shopping. But listen, all this brings energy. Energy brings more energy. Deals bring more deals. That's what's happening. 40 written contracts last week. Got some showings on some stuff that's been ice cold, right? I feel it, all right? Closings, where are we at? 19. You weren't going to close a lot after Easter, right? So I'm not looking at that. That doesn't mean we're not getting things across the finish line. I got 2 across the finish line. 2 of the 19 were mine, okay? Price reductions, where are you? 63, okay? I see that because if you go through Easter and you were going to try to hit Atlanta week in that last week, you're going to make a move. I'm hoping that the price changes get higher and the new listings subside, meaning we quit playing that game of, well, I'm going to drop the price. I'm going to take it down and make it a new listing. We've talked about that at length on this program, but that's the way agents, and listen, the reason why, and I'm saying agents, it's me. The reason why we do that is it works. In this day and age, when something can hit the inbox, there will be a property that's been on the market for 6 months. It'll hit a new price point. It'll hit one of my clients' inbox, and they'll shoot it to me and say, Casey, this new listing, what do you know about it? And I was like, first off, it's been on the month 6 months at 2.3. They just dropped to 1.9, and that's why it caught your eye. It works. So we're not afraid of price changes. But what I'm talking about is I would rather just see the price movement versus the take it down and bring on the new, because we're trying to keep up with inventory. Yes, like that's what we're trying to keep up with on this channel and how much we're taking away, and that skews the numbers. But listen, let's get to this quickly. I love these numbers. I'll take this. Give me 50 and 40 running right on through the summer, and we're going to have a good time. Buyers and sellers, okay? Buyers, let me tell you this, and we're going to talk about this more next week. You better pay attention because the vacation rentals are kicking. They are doing it. The last couple of deals I've written and the reports I'm getting from my sellers on some of these listings, they are filling their calendar. People are driving down here. It's going to be a good summer. It's not going to blow out last year, but what I'm saying is you see my wiener dog over my counter, jump up on there, over my shoulder. Love that. So anyway, the rentals are doing good. I'm going to report more on that. Okay. What a great start to the week, man. That's great news on my front. Listen, something I want to talk on real quick. I got this question after last week's comment about beach access, and it was a really good question. Honestly, I haven't had it before. The question that came to me was, Casey, has the beach access debate always been a thing down there? No. Listen, I've been here since 2007. Until 2016, to be totally transparent, we didn't even talk about it. And Mike Huckabee bought a house. I'm just going to say it. Mike Huckabee bought a house in Blue Mountain Beach, and they decided to push some legislation. He wasn't the only one at factor, but he was a part of it. Okay. And then that's where all this started to come in about ownership rights. And the Gulfront owners do have absolute rights. But here's the trick. It's always been in place, and there was just an understanding about how the beach worked. But here was the reality of how it worked. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just telling you how it worked pre all these lawsuits. If I had somebody call me, let me say this in general. You can buy your way into public access or private access, okay? So part of my interview questions will be, hey, like, what do you want your beachfront experience to be like? Well, Casey, when we come down, we don't really want to see anybody. Got it. There are pockets out there where you can purchase that are not near any beach access, public beach accesses, and it's very rare that anybody even walks down there. Here are those neighborhoods. Let me introduce you to them. Now, if you wanted to be around rentals, that was a little hard. It's harder to measure up and say, okay, I want heavy rentals and I want privacy. That's like diamond in the rough, right? Like that's near impossible. Let me show you this picture. This is the Village at White Cliffs. This is one of the sneakiest neighborhoods. It's in Blue Mountain Beach. I have 2 listings in there right now, a fantastic home, and I'm bringing on a lot in here, okay? This is a non-rental neighborhood. It is really not near a public beach access. So if you called me and said, Casey, we're kind of looking for a second home or primary, we want to be close to the beach, and we'd like to be able to kind of roll out there and not have to deal with crowds. It's one of the first ones that pops up, okay? And the reason why is positioning. It's not because they went through and sued everybody. It's not because they went through and they have to fight everybody. It's just because it's not surrounded by public beach access. You've got Adagio on this side. Look at these 3 buildings on the Gulfront. That's Adagio. Heavy rental. This is a picture taken last week during Easter, okay? This is why I'm bringing this up. You see Adagio, 2 rows deep right here. It's a heavy rental neighborhood. When you're going to stay there, you know what you're getting into. That's fine. On this side, this is the Inn at Blue Mountain Beach. It's a condo complex, okay? They have a couple of rows of chairs. Look at all this right, but I think there's 4 people on the beach right here. That's Village of White Cliffs, okay? So what happens here, guys, is these communities have an understanding and say, okay, hey, listen, guys, this is Adagio. If you're staying here, we're going to stay right here. And this is for Village of White Cliffs, and this is for the Inn at Blue Mountain Beach. It's an understanding, okay? So if you wanted to come and be like, okay, I own a second home, I want to be able to roll down to my beach at 1 o'clock and stay, then buy in the Village of White Cliffs. Guys, don't buy next to a public beach access and then get mad that people stumble across your property. Yes, you have rights, but you got to be strategic with this. Like you're asking a lot for a family with a few kids not to just step on over to the beach. That's the way it was. What I'm painting for you is that question that came to me about, has this always been the way? No, we used to have conversations like this. Like, what are you looking for? What kind of experience are you looking for? Okay. Like, look, Adagio right here. These are fantastic rental condos. Some of the best we have on the beach. These people right here on the beach, that means money to you, right? That's the trade-off. That means money to you. You love seeing that picture, right? That's important to you because that means people are paying to stay there. They have incredible amenities. So that's my point. So after 2016, everybody across the board, the strategy dissolved from, well, I'm not going to buy near a public beach access because I know that crowds can come. Then people started buying next to public beach access points and not wanting anybody to tiptoe over. That is a challenge, okay? And I think that's where these ordinances are going to take place, all right? Thank you for letting me just kind of get that off my chest. I got a chance to show off Village of White Cliffs, but also just kind of want to paint the picture that this wasn't always the way. It was more like helping the customer. What kind of experience are you looking for? All right, I'm going to add something else for you. The county has started a shuttle service, okay? Let me show you this. And this is important. Listen, make sure you can see that on your screen. Here we go. All right, they launched this shuttle service that started April 3rd, okay? Now, this picture right here is going down 393. This is a brand new parking lot. They bought all this land. I've been telling you, the county is just gobbling up land, and they're doing it for consumers to be able to, and locals, to be able to have access to the beach. What they're doing here is they've started a payment program to park, okay? Look, I don't blame them. They're going to make money. It's there. There's a less fee for locals. It's $5. You're allowed up to 2 permits per household, okay? And you can park there for $5. And then there's a service fee of $15 a day for anybody visiting, okay? So what they're going to do here is you can park down 393 on the west end of 30A, and you can take a shuttle to either Edwalline, which is directly south right here, or down west of there to some of the Fort Panic Beach access points, okay? Which is great because it's going to help out with some of the parking we see. If you rode up and down 30A, you'll see that they're putting up posts, they're doing landscaping, trying to get people just to stop parking on the road. So it's going to be a more uniform. This is Van Ness Butler. This is the one that's right between Watercolor and Seaside, okay? This one's the same thing. You can park here and they'll shuttle you to popular spots at Seaside, Watercolor, all up and down there, which is great. That is a great parking lot if you're going to enjoy Seaside for the day. Now, there used to be a public beach access point across the street that technically belonged to Watercolor. That's a whole nother episode. They've got it back. Okay. So what's going on is, and then this one's at Grayton Beach. This one's been working. This is a massive one. And honestly, it's really helped the car flow that goes into Grayton. You would drive around forever trying to find a parking space. Honestly, now if I'm not going to Red Bar, I'm just going to go up here and take the shuttle down. It's just easier. You just can't park down there. This is a great facility. Honestly, the kids like taking the shuttles down. So it's $5 for locals or permits. And then if you're a non-resident, it's $15 to ride the shuttle down. Honestly, I think it's worth it. Casey, what's the good side of that? The good side is it's really controlling some of the car flow in some of these spots, the riding around forever, looking for parking, things like that, and then people pulling up on the curb. Casey, what's the potential downside? Well, specifically for spots like 393, Edwalline, and some of the Fort Panic ones, and some of the efforts down in Seagrove. There was logic at one point where you could look at a public beach access and see the number of cars that were there or the parking spots and go, okay, well, there's only so many people that could actually be at this beach access because only so many cars can park here. For instance, there's a great one right beside Vizcaya that's down toward Fort Panic on the west end. There's only like 12 parking spots and a few spaces for like golf carts and some bikes. So you're like, okay, maybe we'll strategically stay around that spot because only so many people can go there. Either they can walking distance because they're staying in a rental or they're parking there. So there's only a handful of people that can ever be there. What's going to change with that now is it's going to be hard to predict how many people are going to be at each beach access because they can get dropped off from other points. Does that make sense? So before I joined up at the Santa Rosa Beach Club, we get to enjoy the beach club there. Before that, I would strategically, when the kids were younger, I'd map out, man. It was strategy, right? You want to be strategic on where you're parking. So I would find one of those smaller ones, get there and park early. And I'm like, well, there's only going to be me and 10 other cars. And then whoever can walk here, it's going to be a pretty slow day. Now, if you have shuttles of people that can get dropped off there, it's a little bit unpredictable. But let me say this. I still think it's good because I think here's what's coming. And this goes back to my first conversation about this. This is why we're watching these ordinances over the summer. I think all this is going to tie in together with the county. All these ordinances are going to tie in with these beach access points. I think that if you're around a beach access point, you're going to be able to stretch your legs and spread out a little bit on where you go to the beach. I really think that's what's coming. Okay. And so strategically, I still say this, it's going to, for you buyers and homeowners, strategically, it's going to go back to the way it was. If you're within 2 or 3 houses from a public beach access, it's probably going to be hard to control exactly day to day how many people might be strolling in front of the beach. It's just difficult. And then you got to spend time calling the cops if that's the route you want to take. And so if you're looking for privacy, you're going to have to go back looking for privacy. If you want the rental, you're going to have to be around ease of use and around those popular spots. That's what it is, okay? So I think the beach tram service is going to be a great help specifically for great restaurants like Red Bar and Taringo down in Grayton that honestly, you just can't get to. unless they've got a tram service to take you down there. And for some great, huge beach access points like Fort Panic area, they have plenty of beachfront right there and limited parking spaces. So they can actually hold more people that could park there. Does that make sense? So listen, thank you for letting me bring that up again. I know it's going to be a consistent talking point as we go through. Listen, we're all down here because of the beach, okay? And it's super popular. But here's what I'm saying. I don't want these articles and stuff and all the online stuff you see to mess you up with what the reality is. People coming down, I had friends here all week. All of them got on the beach and had a killer time. Most of my clients, they have, I mean, I don't get a lot of the bad stuff. Most of the stuff you see is online, fighting about it. It's all going to be fixed. It's all going to work out. And if you're a buyer coming in and you want some privacy, I can get you some privacy. And if you're a rental-minded investor and you want to be where the most people are going because that's where the biggest rental is, I can get you with that too, right? That Adagio White Cliffs visual that I gave you is a perfect example of how 30A works and how you can strategically get to where you want to go. And it's the same thing in Destin, Florida. Same thing in Destin, Florida. Okay? Listen, appreciate you guys. It is a busy week. We are wide open. Sun's out. Appreciate all of you. Keep calling me. Keep giving me feedback. Let me know what I can bring to you. We're going to bring you more stuff on rental, more stuff on what's going on in the financing world. But meeting with a lot of you this week. Grateful. Continue to call me. Let me know how we can help. And I always look forward to this, and I will talk to you next week. Have a great one.